Well, hey, Happy New Year to you. It's a beautiful January afternoon. It's gray and cold, but that's typical. I'm out here at Lake Jacomo in the Kansas City, Missouri area. I grew up around here and used to come out to this lake all the time. It's a beautiful lake and nature reserve in Jackson County, Missouri, which is what Jacomo stands for. And a lot of times I've, come out here to walk quite a bit. Probably put about 50 miles on these trails this year. But anyhow, as we enter into the new year, there's something that's, on a lot of people's minds and regarding the Second Amendment specifically, which is what's about to happen when President Trump takes office. Like, what should he do? Now, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of high hopes in this when it comes to the Second Amendment. So I want to take a moment and address 5 things that he should do on day one. He should do this on day one. I think we should observe to see what he does. Not necessarily, should we be angry if it's day 2 or 3, but it should be pretty quick for sure. If it doesn't happen at all, then really I think we have to question how pro-Second Amendment he is. And there's one thing that I'm really very, very concerned that he'll do that could totally bring down the Second Amendment as we know it, really just destroy it altogether, for that matter. And it's something that he's said he likes, and we'll address that at the end. But here's the 5 things that he should do to support the Second Amendment that he has said he'd do. And let's just see if he really does these things. So number 1 is firing the ATF director, Steve Dettelbach. This is something that should take place day 1. My problem with Steve Dettelbach is that I feel like the ATF, before him, but even more so with him, has really, it's just become such a policing system. I mean, the fact that they're even policing guns and alcohol and tobacco really just says we're a police state anyway. Like, most other countries don't police those things necessarily. So, I don't know. He said he was going to do it. I don't know if he will do it. My guess is he will. I'd be very shocked if he didn't. But day 1, that. Number 2, the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention will be completely terminated. No longer will we need that office, according to soon-to-be President Trump. That won't be a thing, that's something that won't be necessary, and that it's going to go day 1. Number 3, the Bipartisan Safe Communities Act. Now, this one's kind of a big one because I'm not sure how fast a person could really get rid of that, being that it's an act that's been voted by Congress. But with the majority, I have a feeling that's a goner. I don't even think it'll be practiced in any way, shape, or form once he's in office. Number 4, Biden's executive orders when it comes to guns. Those should be taken down immediately. And among some of these, along with the Bipartisan Safe Community Acts, is how things play out at gun shows. We'll see if that changes or not. I kind of have a feeling that's not going to change. I know a lot of you are going to say I'm wrong, and I hope I am, but we shall see And finally, number 5 is funding for gun violence prevention, which leans in the $5 to $6 billion a year funding. I believe all that's going to be stopped day one, is my belief. Again, maybe day 2 or 3, but pretty quick. That should play out like that. All right, so here's the one I'm concerned about, because honestly, I'd take all those others over this one. And it's really having a federal red flag law. Now, here's my fear of a federal red flag law. It's taking your guns without due process, okay? You might say, well, President Trump would never do that. Well, I encourage you, when you're done with this video, to YouTube what President Trump said about liking take your guns first, then do due process. You can watch it. It's from his own mouth. It's not AI or like it's really him saying it. And then after that, watch the YouTube video about his newly appointed Department of Justice and him having a conversation about how they both really, really like red flag laws. So if there's red flag laws, there is no Second Amendment. There is none. There is none. If any federal judge can take your guns because somebody has deemed you dangerous, there is no Second Amendment. There is no Second Amendment. Be very clear. That's exactly how Germany played out before World War II, is there was all sorts of open gun laws. Everybody could have guns. Very pro-gun country. And then the Nazis came around with red flag laws. And oh, wouldn't you know it, Jews are dangerous. So we got to take all their guns. And then you kind of saw how the rest of that played out. If they deem that a race is dangerous, or citizens of a state are dangerous, or a religion like Christianity, those Christians are dangerous, all you need is one federal judge to agree with that. Just one. You don't need a bunch of them. You just need one. How many of y'all think that the president's got at least one in their pocket somewhere? Like, you got to know that. And just red flag laws, man, I'm telling you, if President Trump passes federal red flag laws, he is the most anti-Second Amendment president in the history of the United States, period. As much as you might have hated Obama and Biden and all them, and again, I've never been pro-Second Amendment favorites of mine at all. And I want to make it very clear, because a lot of people, oh, you're just a Democrat. No, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. I am very much, I define myself as a libertarian. I believe that the government should have good roads, have a good military, and shut up and stay out of my business. And that's about it. As long as I'm not hurting people or property, stay out of my business. And the United States is one of the most policed countries in the world. And I'm not pro either side. Like, I'm not a fan of either one. I'm still in God we trust. That's why I'm a libertarian. Let me lean on God. I don't need to lean on government at all. So be very clear. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm very neutral Trump. I mean, I have opinions, but none of them matter. And in the end, it's really comes down for me, federal red flag laws. If they're passed, it's done. It's done. That whole Second Amendment thing that we love, it is gone. It is done forever and ever and ever. And it'll be because of red flag laws. Because again, if they could take your guns without due process, there is no Second Amendment. Be very clear on that. So we'll see. Those are the 5 things he should do on day 1, and the one I fear the most, that I only fear he'll do it, is because he said he likes it. You know, can't watch the videos. If he didn't say that, I wouldn't really necessarily be talking about it. Just be talking about the 5 things he should do. So there you go. I think people kind of tell on themselves when they talk too much, and I think that's one of them. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong on the last one. I hope I'm right on the first 5, though. And I believe I am right on those first 5. So there you go, man. Love to know your thoughts on this. I do want to take a moment, since most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. Greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. There's been a few pretty heavy prayer requests lately, and I'd also encourage those of you who are praying to look through the comments, and if you see them, there's just been some pretty big ones. So I encourage that. I believe this channel is a community, and that's a lot of why I think that, because people do that. So there you go. Again, put that below. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.